what we want to talk to you guys about, it's 10 ways that you can really use AI to help with your business.
I'm feeling stuck right now. I don't have any new leads for co-hosting, but I don't want to post anything that's too salesy. Post something about the terminal trends that are going on right now. Like post something about how booking windows have shrunk. You can ask GPT the same thing. Hey, what are some of the market trends going on right now? And then just post about that.
A lot of us don't start in this business with any knowledge on how to build workflow, how to build onboarding templates for teams. It's things that in the past we had to learn the hard way. It's things that in the past you had to like kind of guess and get better over time. You're still going to have to get better over time. But this gives you the perfect way to start and have something where you can then make your workflow work better from where you are. What is going on, STR Nation? Here is your host and brothers from another mother. I'm another bunny. Here with the man himself, Mr. Mike Riley. What's going on, Ralph?
Doing awesome, man. It's getting real hot here in North Carolina this summer, but luckily we live on the river, so you can just jump in whenever we want. We got some new properties that we're designing and onboarding right now. Just had a call with a buddy. I've been helping him get a house down in Oak Island, which is actually where my folks live. So it's about 2.5 hours south of here, but found him the right place, putting in a pool, gonna design it with a tiki hut, hot tub, sauna, like do it all up nicely. So I'm pumped for him and his family. It'll be a beach house for them, but then they'll rent it out whenever they're not there too. So I'm excited. Got some good stuff.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
How about you, man?
I am a full week back in Italy. Has been amazing. I'm actually all by myself for the next couple of weeks. And you and I were talking earlier, and it's interesting, right? It's a time for me. I decided to come here for so long, and this year mostly to just reflect and take some time for myself and understand and just ask myself, right? Like, what does he get to create moving forward, and what does that look like? And one of the big things that I've been working on, which you and I talked about earlier, is really making sure that I understand what my inner conversation is. And understanding whatever or not my inner conversation is in alignment with what I decide that I'm going to do or create in my life. And so being by myself for the past week has been fascinating because obviously I don't have anybody to talk to. And so it's funny to be with yourself and just hearing, like, it's my inner voice, it's my inner talking, that of my desires. Like, am I talking like the person that has the life that I am deciding to create? And it's a trip, man, because when you let it run by itself, it is not. Right? And so it's this constant game of being aware of how I talk to myself about myself and making sure that I am always guard to the door of my subconscious. And so what I like to think about, if you imagine your subconscious being a line of defense, I think about the movie The 300. You remember that movie? With the Spartans and they just hold the line. And that's what I think about. I'm like, cool. Are my thoughts in alignment with what I wanted to go into my subconscious? If not, am I holding the line? And so that's been my game. And part of what I've really have decided to create is just a much bigger vision for myself in terms of like the hospitality brand that I am going to build in terms of the boutique hotels and the homes. And so I have pretty much anybody that I talk to here that I see, I just share what my vision is. And so for those of you that are listening, that's my challenge to you for the week. Do you share with every single person you talk to what it is that you do? And know that like the PG version of it, right? Because again, you are the one that's always listening to you. And so what do you do to yourself by sharing a watered down version of your dreams? You water down your dreams. And so for the next week, I mean, really for the rest of your life, but let's start with the week. For the next week, are you willing, when you talk to somebody, to share your limitless vision of what life is, what your dreams are, and see if how that feels. How does it feel to hear yourself saying that out loud?
Yeah. And it's most likely going to feel abnormal at the beginning, especially. You're going to be like, wow, that was kind of weird. I wonder what they thought about that. You know, what did I say? I don't know. Did I just black out? What's going on? I remember when I moved here to New Bern with my wife. I didn't know anybody, but she knew a lot of people, and we joined the country club and meeting a lot of people. And I was still working at Google at the time, and people would ask me what I do, and the easy answer was I work at Google. And like it was kind of cool because they're like, oh yeah, you work at Google, like what do you do? And then they would ask me questions about like, why is my Google Maps taking me to the wrong direction? I'm like, dude, I don't know about Google Maps, but I I I listened to one of your podcasts. This was, I mean, I think it was at the beginning of 2021. I listened to it for like 3 months straight. And one of the things that you said in there is stop being a secret agent and tell people what you really want to do and what you really are now. And then I started telling people I was a real estate investor, and I also have a management company that manages short-term rentals like Airbnbs. And I started telling people that. And I was out of my comfort zone, and I was like, oh, what do they think? You know, like, I don't know why I even thought about that. Like, what do they think about me? Why do I even care? I want them to like me. Hey, who cares? We're all going to die. But anyways, I started getting way more comfortable with that, And then it started becoming my identity. And then people started asking me for tips on real estate and investing and short-term rentals. And then I was like, wow, I stepped into my vision first, and then like that vision came to reality. And now that's my new, that's who I am now. I'm like the Airbnb guy at that country club, and really just kind of in my friend group. So it's like, make that first step of like, start telling people what you really want to be, not what you are now. And it's going to be interesting on what changes. And I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad we started reading again this morning too, because I've been, your subconscious runs 98% of the day. And I feel like the last 2 months, we've made a lot of strides, but now I need to reconnect back with my goals for this year. And I think I did that this morning after you and I jumped off. And I'm really, really excited now. It's like sparks a new fire in the goals for the rest of the year too. And just the people that I'm going to work with and elevate too. So highly recommend going through that exercise that you did and just listening to what are the inner thoughts that are going on? What am I telling people? What am I telling myself? What do I want to? What do I want to do? What am I going to do this year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And June is the perfect time to do that, right? As this drops, it's right towards the end of June. What has the year been? And are you running loops, the same cycles that you've always run? And if you are, this is your moment, right? Catch yourself and start saying new things. Because again, you run on your thoughts, right? There's nothing else. It's a scary thought. I was coaching the quantum call the other day, and I was like, do you guys realize, right, that if I knock you out real hard right now, you don't remember anything? None of the things that you know now about yourself would be true, right? Like if somebody really knocks you out, like just a good knockout, and you forget who you say you are, who you've learned that you are, none of the things you know will be true. Even the stuff that you like and dislike, will you still like and dislike the same things? Maybe, maybe not, right? Anyways, so
I'd still like my wife. I'd love Sierra. I know that.
for sure.
I had to plug that.
Sierra, so
Let's do this.
what we want to talk to you guys about, and on the episode with Buck, we kind of hinted to this, and so that's kind of what inspired us to talk about this. It's 10 ways that you can really use AI to help with your business, right? 10 ways that you can use Claude or ChatGPT to really put some fire on this business. So the number one, and this is something that I do for myself a lot, is I use it to review and optimize my sales calls. So what I mean by that is I created a custom project on ChatGPT, and then I have a sales script that I use. And so I gave the sales script to ChatGPT, and then in the prompts, I told ChatGPT, okay, I want you to think like a high-level salesperson, and then I want you to screen every single call that I make against the script. And so every time I'm done with a sales call, any sales call that I do, I take the transcript of the sales call and I drop it into ChatGPT. And the ChatGPT real time gives me feedback, ranks it from 0 to 10, tells me what I did well, tells me what areas of improvement I have. And then it also helps me over time optimize my sales script to the areas of improvement that I have. So you can even ask it after a little bit, the chat gets to know you and what you do. I asked it, hey, can you give me an improvement plan. Where do I need to improve? How would I improve? What do I say to improve? And then that document I added into the resources. And so now every single sales call that I do, it gets compared to my script and my improvement plan. And again, most of us don't come from a sales background. And also, it's a skill. Every single thing in this world is a skill that you can have. There is the naturals and there is the people that put the effort. So use it as your own very personal sales coach. You can even put it to the point that you role play and just have that conversation. And you're like, hey, can we role play scenarios together? So that's number one.
Yeah. No, I love it. I use that too. And I've got number 2 would be writing high converting listing descriptions and really just like marketing pages. So, E talked about using it for reviewing sales calls, but also I trained a custom GPT inside of ChatGPT on how to write your listings and marketing pages like a professional. And so there's a very specific framework that works for SEO and then also fits into Airbnb's pages. So Airbnb, you have your summary, which is like 500 characters. You have your title, which is 50 characters. And then you have the space, which is unlimited characters. But not everybody's going to read, thousands and thousands, right? So what I did is I uploaded my templates, ones that I've used that have converted really, really, really well, and then trained ChatGPT to say, hey, use this template and then make it better. And then any new listing or new property that I give you, I'm going to give you this information. And the information is where the property is, the bedroom, bath count, all the different amenities. And then it creates, voila, within less than a minute, a listing description that is highly converting, a title that's highly converting. And I don't have to I used to spend probably an hour on this. And I would do it for Airbnb and then I would do it for Verbo. But now with ChatGPT and this custom GPT that we have, it takes me about 5 minutes and I don't even do it anymore. I just review it. So Sean, my operations manager, he does it, creates a listing, and then I review it. So it saves us so much time for something that we've created a system for. So that's number 2, or on the marketing side.
Yeah. Number 3 is going to be to do market research. So competitive research and market research. So if you don't know, Chat has a feature where you can do deeper research. And so that is anything that you can use to just go through regulations, seasonality, pricing, right? So anything that is on the web, Chat can go through and just really condense. So instead of you spending, and I get this question so often, and I'm sure you get it too. Hey, I want to operate in so and so. Do I need this? Do I need that? Don't ask me. Don't ask Riley. You have a person within quotation mark that can do this for you within seconds and help you analyze and help you understand data. And so just use that. And then obviously, I will still tell you, especially when you're dealing with regulation, please double check, right? Like if you're thinking about a city and thinking about investing, do not start spending thousands of dollars buying a property just because ChatGPT told you so, right? Like just don't be a dummy, pick up the phone, call the city.
Pick up the phone.
And just make sure like, hey, I'm buying this property, so-and-so area, so-and-so zip code. From my understanding of my extensive research that I've done, I understand that I can do so. Can you please confirm?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, and I've even started using it. I'll send it spreadsheets and just say, tell me more about this data, and then start asking it questions. I do it a lot for surveys too. Like I'll survey Steer Secrets members on different things, what they think is, most helpful, what they'd like to, add, or how many properties that they've added, that sort of thing. Average right now is they add 7 properties in 6 months, which is pretty cool. Just on average, members add 7 properties in 6 months. I got that from a survey that I did, and then threw that into ChatGPT and started asking it some questions. That was pretty cool. But number 4 is automating and personalizing guest messaging. So we've had HostBuddy on the podcast in the past, which HostBuddy is essentially a GPT at the end of the day that you train based on knowledge, past conversations from your PMS, past conversations with guests, but then also knowledge that you feed it based on the data that you give it. And that has saved us so much time, especially overnight when we don't have people on shift responding to guests. And also, it does it automatically, but when our team is on, we use what's called the suggestion feature. So it'll actually take the guest question and then suggest a response. We use Hospitable for this, and then we can tweak it as needed, and then it learns and is trained from us tweaking it too. So, the AI is only as good as the knowledge that you feed it, and the past, really the suggestions that it gives. But it helps us draft like warmer responses, more personalized, faster replies, and at the end of the day, just provide a faster and better experience instead of us just repeating ourselves over and over and over and over and over again, right? I would say 90% of our guest communication is automated anyways, but that last 10%, we're getting pretty dang close to whittling that down to less than 5%. So that is number 4.
I love that. Number 5, and I know people are going to love this, is use it to plan social media and content for your website. Like, don't use your inability to come up with content as the excuse to why you're not making content. Just go and ask it, hey, this is the business that I do. This is where I operate. Give me 10 pieces of content that I can make. Write me a blog post about the seasonality and the sea turtles hatching season or whatever it is, right? And use that, which again, tweak it to whatever you want, but it takes away, because I remember for me especially, the content piece, just having to come up with the stuff to talk about is the most difficult thing. Then once you tell me what to talk about, I can kind of have that conversation, or at least I can start, but use it, right? And use it to just do all of those things for you, from Instagram to email marketing to copy for your website, every single part of it. And especially if you keep working on, so keep the chat open and keep working on the same thing so that it keeps cross-referencing all of the different chats that you have and really getting to know who you are, your voice, and what you're looking to do and the message that you want to share with people.
Yeah. Anytime I'm stuck and I'm like, all right, I need help writing this piece, this post or something like that, I'll just go to GPT and just ask it, hey, this is my goal. And, it can be as simple if you're trying to just tell more people about your business, or maybe you've already done that and you're like, I'm feeling stuck right now. I don't have any new leads for co-hosting, but I want to post something, but I don't want to post anything that's too salesy. Post something about the short-term rental trends that are going on right now. Like, post something about how booking windows have shrunk less than, or by like 15%, at least in my market. And you can ask GPT the same thing. Hey, what are some of the market trends going on right now? And then just post about that, your thoughts about that, and have it help you write it in your voice. And you'll find that, people will start engaging, asking you questions about it, and just you're seen as a person of interest if you are posting more, frequently on topics that, are really easy to post about.
Yeah. And interesting to people, right? 100%.
And interesting. Exactly. Number 6, streamline hiring and team building. So using AI to write job posts, job descriptions, screening virtual assistants. You can use it to screen resumes of folks as well, generate interview questions based on kind of the needs and stuff like that. So, it's simply just asking it, hey, I've got, a job opening for this, or, hey, I'm spending way too much time doing these things. Can you create a part-time job description for helping me with these things? And then it will. And then you can ask it again, hey, can you help me, put together some interview questions or maybe some prerequisites beforehand? And then it'll spit out some of that. And then from there, you get some resumes come in. Those resumes come in, send it into ChatGPT as well. Hey, can you review this for me and tell me what the pros and cons are for this type of person? And then, we typically recommend also having them do some sort of personality test. And then you can take the results for that personality test, throw it into ChatGPT and just ask it more questions. So it's just, you don't have to rely on your lack of experience anymore. You can just tap into the experience of ChatGPT to help you with it. So that is number 6.
Yeah. Number 7 builds right on top of that, which is use it to build the manage SOP, turnover checklist, and using guest guides. So again, a lot of us don't start in this business with any knowledge on how to build workflow, how to build onboarding templates for teams, right? And again, the things that in the past we had to learn the hard way. This thing that in the past you had to like kind of guess and get better over time. You're still going to have to get better over time. But this gives you the perfect way to start and have something where you can then make your workflow work better from where you are. Because again, it's all about what you input in there, right? So the more stuff you give it, the more like custom to your company and to your vision and to your culture, the things are going to be. But if you don't know where to start and you hear us talk about SOPs all the time, and you're like, I don't even know what an SOP is. Well, go on chat and ask it, hey, can you build me an SOP for cleaning a short-term rental, and use that? And then over time, you get to tweak it and make it better and better and better. But again, I think by now you guys are understanding anything that you have as an excuse as to something you do not know how to do. You now have something that is here to help you at least get the ball rolling.
Yep. Number 8 is analyzing property performance in owner reports. So uploading data from your PMS or Airbnb dashboards, and then, possibly from your market as well. You can upload some market reports from, let's say, Price Labs, and start asking it questions. Hey, how's my property performing based on the market trends right now? And I've seen some people, and I think this is a little early, but I've seen some people really build out a revenue management strategy on a weekly basis, and some even on a daily basis, like for their whole portfolio. So basically give it the data of last year, give it the data of the market, feed it Price Labs data, and then ask it, hey, what should I do here based on current occupancy so I can hit my goals? If you have your property goals inputted there too. And it can give you some suggestions on a daily basis of, hey, we should drop pricing for this week, or hey, we should increase pricing because demand is really high this week. So you really have to spend time training it. But if revenue management is something that you think is a high leverage task for you right now, you think that's one of the things that's going to move the needle for you and your company, which I'd argue whether that's worth it or not. You could probably spend that going to acquire more properties. But anyways, maybe you're a revenue manager and you love it. I know we have some people inside of STR Secrets that are revenue managers and do this and do a really good job at it, because it is their skill. It is their thing that they focus on. So if that is something that you want to focus on, I would say it's worth spending the time on and training the GPT to at least be aware of some of the little things that you need to do. So that is number 8.
Number 9, again, kind of builds on that, is use it as a business consultant. So if you have clear business plans, or even if you don't have clear business plan, you just have a rough idea of what your goals are, ask it, hey, think like a business consultant and tell me, how do I create and make the perfect business plans to reach these goals? And then use it on an ongoing weekly basis to really optimize your strategy. Again, as you probably started to understand by now, it's all a matter of how much time you spend with it, and how much you input in it, and how much you conversate with it, and how much you give it feedback. The problem, at least for me at the beginning when I started using it, given it was also like a couple years ago, is that that sounds extreme, maybe like a year ago, is the fact that like I would ask it something, I was like, this is dumb. Like, this is a dumb answer, without understanding that it was a dumb answer because my input was dumb. So if you want a dumb ChatGPT, put in the dumb things, and that's what it's gonna get back. But you can prompt it to think like a high-level business consultant and really input it and really look into things like, hey, think like a high-level consultant that specializes in hospitality, and tell me, how do I hit this goal? And then use it as your recurring conversation to optimize how you go about things.
I love that. You just got me thinking too. It's ChatGPT is kind of like a child that gets smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. So at the beginning, you can't just talk to the child and say, do this for me, right? You got to give it really good energy and really good inputs, and then you get really good outputs from there. and then it grows, and then it gets smarter, and then takes your money and goes to college. But I'm not looking forward to that. At least that's what I did. But anyways, it's you gotta give it really good energy and give it good inputs in order to get good outputs. One of the things that we're working on right now at STR Secrets is creating a custom GPT for every coach that we have. So all of our coaches have a specific skill. Yours is you're the best with mindset that we have. You rival Mike with that, and Dave too. We should put you guys in our cage match. But all of us have unique skills. And so we're taking all of the coaching calls that we've done and creating custom GPTs for each individual coach that our clients can go to and ask questions on the fly immediately. And we answer based on our past experiences. So we're working on it right now, tweaking it, but it's something that we're offering, which I think is going to be pretty cool and just get quicker access to us. I know I use ChatGPT as a business consultant all the time. Hey, I usually do I say, can you give me advice based on the Jocko tone, which is pretty cool because I love Jocko. He's just like, go do it. Don't think about it, just do it. But you can also do that, and customize who your coach is too. Ask it to talk like Jocko, or it probably didn't have me or you. Maybe it does, but that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then lastly, creating prompts for every STR operator that you should use weekly. So like you can create prompts to summarize guest reviews. You can take all reviews, have them summarize it for you. Use it. I've got a custom GPT for my team as well. So I've uploaded like transcripts from text messages with cleaners, with contractors, with owners as well, and just uploaded that to GPT and say, hey, this is how I respond to these sort of situations, and then train the GPT that way. And then so the team could go in and say, what would Mike do in this scenario? And then paste in that scenario or describe that scenario. And then it would output without them having to come to me. And if they think it's maybe a little bit off, they'll reach out to me. But it's something that I created a few weeks ago and we're testing right now. And it's working out pretty well. So it's like a little, I don't know, response GPT that our team has access to. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And again, guys, the biggest thing is this, right? Understanding that it's not a matter of spending tons of time in it, but it's the matter of spending a little time every single day. So it's not about you doing this massive import of all the things, but like start from where you are. Meaning if you do have a team call, start grabbing the transcript from the team call and feeding it. If you have a sales call, start grabbing that and feeding it. There's even ways that over time, if you're more, we had Rachel Gainsbourg come talk to our crew up in Salem. There's even ways that you can then do that. It grabs the transcripts and it automatically feeds into it. Which again, if you're more techy, you can do so. If you're not techy, which is me, just go into your Phantom recording if you use Phantom, or go into your Zoom recording, copy and paste it and drop it in. All we're saying is that you have something that when I started this business 15 years ago, I didn't have, which is one, the ability to have an entire team of people within ChatGPT. So first of all, you're cutting down your cost of consultant, marketing people, because just think about the stuff that we talked about. Marketing people. Do you really need one? Maybe, maybe not, right? So you're cutting the cost of a bunch of people, and you also have somebody there's a sounding board. Does the average person in your life, unless you're part of a mastermind like ours, but does the average person in your day-to-day life, somebody that you can talk to about problems that you have in your business? Probably not. Well, chat can. And chat can become your best friend. Obviously, please still go outside and talk to people. Because Mike and I were laughing about this earlier. There's somebody that apparently has asked his build a custom GPT and has been dating it for the past, what did you say, Mike, 6 months?
Yeah, it was a girlfriend GPT, 6 months. They were dating. He finally proposed. So congrats to him. If he's listening. He's probably not, but he's probably texting her. So there's a point of too much, and that may be it. When Rachel was actually going through her presentation, I was like, oh, is this a little too much? But then I was like, no, like she's crushing it. Like obviously her outputs are really, really good because her inputs are good. So
yeah, and that's it. It's just spending time with it. Don't be afraid of it. And just take it and start from where you are. And just understanding what is the biggest struggle that you're having right now. And look at Chat, look at Claude, or look at whatever it is that you want to use. And see, hey, can I get unstuck? Just by asking the right questions, or at least trying to. Any last thoughts, Riley?
No, that was a great ending. I am going to be talking a little bit on the next podcast. A training I'll be doing just after this will be about creating your offer as a co-hosting or property management company. So, like, what is that $100 million offer that you are going to be creating for your company that differentiates from your competition, and how you do that? So, using ChatGPT to help you come up with that based on its experience, based on the data we give it, based on Alex Ramosey's book, $100 million offers as well. So I'm going to be showing that on the next episode and the training here. And just a quick plug too, if you guys aren't in the Short-Term Rental Secrets Facebook group, obviously on Facebook, I highly recommend it. Just go on Facebook, look up Short-Term Rental Secrets. You'll find me, E, and Mike, and go ahead and join it, because it is a massive GPT that you can ask questions and we will respond. And we do trainings in there every single week. And they're all recorded in there. It's like having your own playbook and course all in one place, and community too, because community is, I mean, it's huge. Just having access to different people in different areas and sharing deals, and it's just a great place to come and grow. So join the Facebook group and let me know your thoughts. Introduce yourself to me as well.
Awesome. Well, guys, we do hope that this episode was useful for you. We had a lot of fun recording it, and this is something that both Riley and I have been spending a lot of time on. And so we wanted to share with all of you guys, hoping that it helps you just elevate your business in any way. Because even if you make it just a little bit better every day, it's going to get a lot better over time. We'll see you next week. Ciao, guys.